out that you won't be coming back to SIS next year, we would like to ask you a few questions about your degree.
Okay, sounds good. I apologize for my voice. I've lost my voice today, so.
No, it's fine. So what did you do before you came to SIS?
Well, before I came to SIS, I was a professional golfer. And I made millions of dollars and I lost it all betting on the SIS sports teams. No, I'm just kidding. Before I came to SIS, I did a lot of English teaching. So I taught in China in a public boarding school near Beijing, and I taught in a number of different schools in Korea. And the last major school that I taught at before I came to SIS was the Seoul Women's University. Seoul Yajadehake.
So you mostly taught in Asia?
Yes, I've been teaching mostly in Asia. I left, after I got my teacher's degree, I left Canada right away. So I did most of my teaching abroad.
So why did you decide to come to SIS in the first place? Is there a specific reason you chose Korea?
I went to a job fair and there were a number of opportunities. And this was, I came to SIS as a grade 2 teacher. And the international school experience, this was going to be my first international school experience. And I had already lived in Korea. So I guess part of me thought that, I mean, I knew all the good things about SIS. I knew it was a good school and it was a good situation. But part of the reason I chose SIS is that I knew that adapting to a new school would be easier if I didn't also have to adapt socially and culturally. So because my first experience was in a country I was familiar with, it seemed a good decision because in addition to being a good school, it meant that even if it was challenging professionally, that personally I was already settled and I wasn't going to feel too uncomfortable with the cultural changes or with the social changes.
So describe your experience at SIS and how it's different from other schools that you taught at.
The experience here has been fantastic. It's been a lot of fun because the teachers work together to try and create new solutions for any sort of problems that they find. So the collaboration between the staff is a lot of fun. And because I've taught grade 2 at the beginning, I've gotten to know the school and because I taught kindergarten PE, I've gotten to know the school from the kindergarten all the way up to the seniors, which is fun, which is exciting. So for me, the unique experience that's different from other schools is I know the students from the bottom to the top. Maybe not all of them, but I know a good portion of them along the way. And I also know and work together with the staff from the bottom to the top, which is also a unique experience. Often, if you teach in one school, like the middle school or the high school or the elementary, then you're limited in that you only really see that part of the school. So for me, it's been really special to be involved, even if it hasn't been official. Maybe I'm not teaching an elementary school class, I'm still going down to the elementary school and doing some songs with them or something like that, and maintaining the relationships that I had with the students and the staff.
What are you going to miss most about SIS?
What am I going to miss most about it? JJ's! Yeah. What will I miss most about SIS? I think the people. The people, the staff and the students. The students have been fantastic, and it's always a lot of fun and very interesting to make connections with students. And obviously it's the same with the staff. And I think most teachers will probably answer the same, and that is because, you know, if you're enjoying your teaching, what you really come away from the experience, what you bring away from the experience is the relationships that you build, and that becomes the most important part of your job, is the connections you make with people. So Well, I have a very busy summer, and let's see, I'm going possibly to Beijing for a tournament, although I don't think I can play anymore. Possibly to Beijing for a tournament. Then I'll be going to Kuala Lumpur to visit some friends. Maybe you know Mr. Silich. I'll be seeing Mr. Silich and Mr. Hutzuk and Mrs. Hutzuk and Mrs. Silich and Mr. Elser and Ms. Mountain, visiting them in Kuala Lumpur. Then I will go to Cambodia to see the killing fields in Phnom Penh and Angkor Wat in Siem Reap. And then back to Kuala Lumpur for a wedding that I'm going to play music at. And then I'm going to fly back to Vancouver for a few weeks. And then I fly to my new school, which is in Bucharest, in Romania, in Eastern Europe. So I will be teaching at the American International School of Bucharest. And I'll be doing pretty similar job to what I'm doing right now, which is I'll be teaching mostly middle school. Maybe the opposite of what I'm doing right now. Right now I teach mostly high school and a little bit of middle school, and there I'll teach mostly middle school with a little bit of high school. Teaching PE, obviously.
Yeah. What was the best thing about Korea?
Dak galbi. Best thing about Korea? I don't know if it's the best thing, but one of the things that I really recognize about Korea as a country is it is one of the safest countries I've ever been in. It feels very, very safe. You know, if you're downtown in a place that you don't know, or if you're walking around alone late at night, or if you put your bag down somewhere on the subway or something like that. It's a very safe country, and the things that come with that safety is a really comfortable feeling. And so in Korea, I think because of that sort of safe feeling, people feel comfortable, people feel relaxed, and that makes for a very peaceful experience, and it makes for an experience where you don't worry about those kinds of things, and instead you get to appreciate the culture and the food and the things like that. I've been to other countries where you don't feel it's as safe, and if that's the case, then you don't really get to enjoy what the country has to offer as much because you're worried about little things. But I mean that's one of the things that I really recognize about Korea. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I think it really allows you to enjoy the Korean culture and experience. Obviously, I'll miss Korean food.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Korean food that I really, really like, so I can make a few things, kimchi bokkeumbap and janghachi and a few other things that I can make, but I'm going to have to sort something out in Bucharest, find some Korean friends.
So what do you like the best about being a PE teacher, specifically?
Specifically as a PE teacher, I think I'd say the same as a grade 2 teacher. The moments that a student's eyes light up, the moment that when they're doing something, whether when it was in grade 2, it might have been a math equation, but in PE, the moment they're doing an activity, they're trying to throw a ball and it's not working, or they're trying to throw a frisbee, and it's just not working, and you give them some kind of an instruction or a tip or a strategy, and then they do it right, and the first time they do it right, you see their eyes light up and you see them make the connection. And to me, that's the most rewarding thing, is when you see a student make a connection and feel successful and accomplished. That's the best part of PE. And I mean, obviously I love athletics, so teaching something that I love and believe in as much as I do is always a really positive experience.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed your time at SIS, and thank you for your valuable time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.